Shout out to Cats Pawd.
A good defensive play for Montana State.
Touchdown, Tommy Malone is electrifying.
Welcome to the Cats Pod. What's up, Podcats? Here we are, looking good. You know, we got our camera angles just right. We got our Cats Pod signs lit up. We are ready to go. We've been building brick by brick all season long, just like the Bobcats. We get better every single week. It's been kind of nice. How you doing this week, Eric?
Well, I'm anxious. How about that? I literally cannot even.
Cannot even.
I cannot even.
On a scale from 1 to even, I can't. That's where I'm at right now.
Oh man, I'm so excited for this weekend, and just sitting back and listening to all the talk and all the smack talk and all that stuff you see every single day. Yep. It just makes me even more excited.
Just ready
to get to Saturday.
Yep. I'm excited to get to Bozeman, and I'm excited to see this game. I can't remember this much excitement throughout a week for a football game in a while. Like, I was pretty jacked up for Cat Grizz week.
Yeah.
But this one feels special. I think also because I know I won't be able to go to Frisco.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is going to be my last time to see this team. This current team, these seniors, these guys that have been killing it all season. I'm very excited just to see this.
But you're going to make it down there for this one, and this is the final home game for all of our seniors.
Mm-hmm. This is the real senior night.
Yeah, this is when they get to go out, lay it all on their home turf, and show out in front of their crowd one last time. And I fully expect this crowd to be bumping.
This crowd is going to be rocking. How many tickets do you say they had left?
So I saw a deal that said there's only 400 left. That was this morning. I imagine more of those are sold. And if you look anywhere, it's pretty much standing room only, pretty much all the way across. So
all you can get is standing room. And be ready. And I feel like for this game, every seat is going to be standing room.
I think so.
If your butt is touching a bleacher during this game, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, and I just feel like the team is going to have us on our feet the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
And you know that place is never going to get empty.
No.
Regardless. They're not going to want to miss a single second of Tommy Malott, Brody Grebe, Rylan Ort, any of those guys, you know?
Yeah. And those seniors deserve for us to stay out in the stands.
They do.
It's time to skip halftime beers, okay? It's time for us to make a sacrifice for this team.
Just make them quick halftime beers. How about that?
They got to be quick. You're not waiting until you start hearing the countdown and everything like that. You're getting in there.
Yeah.
In, out.
Yeah.
Out, chug, back in.
But, you know, after being at the Idaho game last week and how raucous that crowd was for that game, and like, you know, it was a night game and ESPN and it was crazy. But this is the one. This is the one that everybody needs to show up to. Everyone needs to come support the team. And, you know, I think everybody kind of knows that already, but I don't think they realize, like, this is it for these. We do not get to see them play in Bobcat Field again.
Ever. You know,
they're done.
It's super important for these guys, for everybody to show up and be as loud as possible. And we know everybody is going to meet that standard.
And I think we all know that what we're saying means nothing to how the players actually feel.
No, like we're feeling 1/10 maybe of what they're feeling right now.
Yeah,
It's got to be electric.
They just really can't even. Okay.
No, they cannot even at this point. You know, they're getting real dramatic about it.
Yeah. Should we talk about the other game?
Yeah, we might as well start by talking about the other game. The other game, you know, like some people might care about it. Some people east of us.
Yeah. Real quick, off the top of your head, give me your pick. 2 seconds.
2 seconds pick SDSU.
Samesies. Dang it.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to agree a little bit too much on this, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at how these two teams have progressed all season since the Dakota marker, I feel like there's only one clear team that's gotten better as the season has gone on, and especially into the playoffs, and that's South Dakota State. Like, North Dakota State is a great team that can make a lot of different things happen, and they could definitely make me eat my own words. But I just really feel like South Dakota State is just a little bit better. Their defense is legit.
They've been playing really solid football ever since they dropped that game to North Dakota State.
Yeah, and they were missing Tucker Large in that, and Tucker Large is an extremely good player.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, he is only one player on that defense, but hey, he's legit.
One player can make a massive or a massive impact when it comes to defenses, though.
Yeah.
It can really be an anchor point for him. Do you think there will be more scoring in this one? Do you think the scoring will open up a little bit?
I kind of wonder if it doesn't, because SDSU, I feel like their offense has gotten better and their rushing attack has gotten better. And I keep wanting to say one of the Yankees. Oh gosh, what's his name? The receiver. I can't even remember right now. But that kid is legit, like super legit. So the way he's playing and the way their rushing attack is kind of rounding into form, I kind of feel like South Dakota State will score quite a bit more than they did the last time. But, I could be wrong. North Dakota State could, once again, make me eat my words. But I don't think that North Dakota State is going to put up 21 points on South Dakota State's defense. I don't think that's that kind of game.
Yeah, it's tough to call it on this one. Wild is who you were trying to think of.
Wildy. There you go. Wildy.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I always mispronounce his name. It's a really tough game to judge because of the quarterback matchup. It feels like there should be some more points scored in this game. But also, this is possibly the two best defenses in the country. The Cats are up there with them, but it's tough to judge because you never play similar teams.
Yeah. I mean, if I was going to rank them right now, I still think the Cats defense is better, top to bottom, rangier. I don't think anybody can match the Cats defensive line.
Yeah.
I really don't. But I think that North Dakota State is a clear 3. They gave up 31 points to Abilene Christian. Like, let's not forget that.
They did.
They tried to lose to Eastern Tennessee. Is that what it was? ETSU? I know it was ETSU. Yep. But they tried to lose that game. They did lose to USD. I'm not sold on North Dakota State's defense, and I think they went through a bit of the same injury bug that the Cats did with some pretty big starters going down on defense with season-ending injuries.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't overcome it like the Cats have been able to.
I think hands down, depth-wise, the Cats are a clear number 1.
Yeah.
For just how deep they are. I guess I don't know specific players well enough to judge their defenses specifically, but just judging off of past performance, which we try not to do for the most part, but you kind of have to do when it comes to these two state schools.
Yeah.
They've set a standard for defense.
Yeah.
That is impressive.
I feel like my prediction is that South Dakota State is going to run the ball with authority, with timely passes to Wildy, and North Dakota State has to beat them through the air. It's going to take Cam Miller having a really good game through the air, and Lance is going to have to figure out ways to get open against a fairly talented secondary. I feel like that's the only way North Dakota State can win is if Cam Miller comes out and balls out. And, he's going to have to use his legs. He's going to have to leave it all on the line. But his arm is going to have to be on point if they even want to sniff beating South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm. I think it's going to take a lot more than, 9 points or 12 points?
12-9.
12-9. I think it's going to take a lot more than 12 points to win this game.
I agree.
I could see this game being played in the 20s. I think that the scoring is going to open up a little bit more than it did earlier in the season. And like you said, Cam Miller is going to be a huge part for NDSU. Shamar Brown needs to not have a pedestrian game if NDSU is going to win. Because he's been having a lot of pedestrian games recently. He's going to have to play like somebody who's in the conversation for the Jerry Rice Award, who may or may not have got it fraudulently, but
very fraudulently.
That's for that's a conversation for a different day,
So South Dakota State is -3.5. Would you take it or give it?
It's a really tough line because I would have seen this game if you wouldn't have told me 3.5. I would have told you that this was a pick'em, straight up.
Yeah.
I don't like laying down points with either of these teams. I would probably take the points and bet NDSU or SDSU. Sorry.
I think I would agree with you, even though I feel like this could be a legit 3-point game.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in NDSU's loss to USD, it was 1 point.
Yeah.
It was 3 points when they beat SDSU, but I think I probably tend to lean South Dakota State -3.5. I feel like they'll figure out a way to win by more than a field goal.
Yeah.
The over/under is only 48.5 on this one.
Mm-hmm. And that is also a tough line to touch. Like, I don't know.
It is, considering they scored 21 total the last time.
Mm-hmm. It makes it very difficult to make that decision. Like, if you're gonna place a bet on this game, I don't have a clear answer for you.
No, I do like. I mean, if you take the spread with South Dakota State, you get -115.
Yep.
If you take the money line South Dakota State, you get -185. I'd almost lean -185.
Mm-hmm.
If you thought South Dakota State was going to win, it's not that much worse odds.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about the points.
Yeah, just go straight money line on this game. Maybe the move.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like you're right. This is such a pick'em.
Yeah.
Two super powerhouses facing off for the second time this year. I will just say it is really hard to beat a team twice in one season.
Unless you're the Bobcats.
Then it's
pretty easy to beat somebody twice in a season.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I thought we were going to be having the rematch with UC Davis and we could do it twice, but that wasn't the way the bubble bounced.
Yeah. Salud, Lan Larison.
See you later, Lan.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The cool thing about this game is we should know who the Bobcats are playing next before kickoff or right at kickoff.
It's going to be very close, depending on how long the game goes. And who knows, we may be seeing an overtime classic out of the Dakota Marker ×2.
Yeah. 10 a.m. Mountain Time.
Mm-hmm.
We really it should be pretty close to knowing who we're playing by kickoff of the Cats.
And I believe that game is on ABC, which is big for the FCS.
Yeah.
A Saturday morning football, I feel like that's usually covered by a lot of other teams. I know Big Noon is when a lot of the FBS teams play. They usually start a little bit later in the day, but that is a not a prime time, but a national scale on ABC that we usually don't get to see.
Yeah. It is nice to see some new and fresh eyes getting on the FCS action.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the FCS is gaining momentum at a pretty rapid pace right now with how, just there's a lot of good games, a lot, and it's not. It actually means the FCS means something.
Mm-hmm.
You're not playing for stupid bowls, or fighting. Most of these teams, the FBS teams, aren't even fighting for the playoffs. They won't ever dream of sniffing the playoffs.
Yep.
And they get stuck in these meaningless bowl games. Meanwhile, the FCS has this big bracket that totally weeds out the frauds from the powerhouses. And I feel like that's what we got this year. Every team had multiple opportunities to lose, yet the top 4 seeds made it to the quarterfinals.
Yeah. I feel like the FCS gives you the most no doubt this is the best team in the country out of every championship. Because there's no drama for people that get into like those the unseeded teams. There's no real drama with those ones. There's a couple teams that you could say could get put in, but for the most part, those teams just get destroyed in the first round. So your best teams in the country are the top 4 teams. You know, everything's chalk, which could be considered boring to some people, but at the same time, you are seeing the best teams, and you know they're the best teams.
I mean, things went chalk, but it just means the rankings committee had it right.
Oh, yeah.
The selection committee nailed it. There weren't really any big upsets, but it gives, the way this playoff is formatted, is it gives everybody equal opportunity to make it. You just have to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And, so I kind of like this format. I like how they have it set up. The rankings and the selection committee has done, for the most part, a pretty darn good job, in my opinion.
How do you feel, slight detour, how do you feel about the news that the Ivy League is going to be coming into the FCS next year for, like, the playoffs?
I like it. I don't think the Ivy League is very good, but I do think the Ivy League is better than some of the teams that made the playoffs this year, like the top, the Harvard. I know there was a few years ago, Princeton was really good. Dartmouth has been in there a few times. I feel like it'll be good for the FCS to get those guys in there and see what they can actually do.
Yeah.
I mean, what if we take, if we get an auto bid from the Ivy League and we kick out New Hampshire?
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good thing.
It's probably a net positive in general. And a lot of people, I don't know if they're aware of this, but the Ivy League was the birthplace of American football. Like, that's where it all started from. Those were the first scheduled football games were with Ivy League schools. They're between Harvard and Princeton. So it's like, it's a huge piece of football history to bring them in.
I mean, every person in America can name a former starting quarterback for Harvard.
Yeah.
It's magic, baby.
Yeah. He's got it.
So, I mean, there are good players that come out of the Ivy League. They've just never had a real chance to, like, showcase what they are. And I mean, the Ivy League is going to have a harder time recruiting players because they have such strict academic standards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's always that, but I don't know. The more the merrier. Bring them in, and maybe their best team kicks out one of the teams that shouldn't be in there in the first place, like one of the crappy Southland teams or one of the CAA teams that just don't belong. I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Let's get the teams in the country in there and competing.
Yeah. It also would not hurt my feelings to watch Montana State beat up on some spoiled rich kids. I wouldn't be too angry about that.
No. That sounds all right.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it's a good thing. I'm excited for them. I think they probably want it too. I think they want to be there.
Yeah.
They play a whole football season for literally nothing. So
yeah, it's going to be great for them that they will have the opportunity to win something more than just an Ivy League championship.
Yeah. Should we talk about what everyone wants to actually talk about?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been waiting 20 minutes. Come on.
Montana State University hosts the worst mascot in football. One of the things I hate the absolute most on the ranch is the Coyotes.
The Coyotes, the Yotes.
Literally shoot them every time I see them.
Mm-hmm.
Without hesitation.
And without remorse.
They're a nuisance.
Mm-hmm.
They do stupid things. They win stupid prizes. And do my best to control the coyote population. And I think Montana State's going to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. They're going to bring out the electric calls. They're going to have the fancy coyote shooting pistols that the people build up for reasons that I still don't quite understand. They are going to... I think they're going to play a really good game against USD. I'm trying to stop myself from doing this, but I don't see a lot of drama in this game. I think they have a very solid defense, but they have been very opportunistic with turnovers against lesser teams.
I will ask one favor before we get into this game any further from you.
Mm-hmm.
For the love of God, don't bet on it, Ben.
Okay, I won't bet on it. I'm not going to bet on it.
I've
been staying off.
Don't you bring your juju.
I don't know how many people actually follow us on X, but they would notice that since the playoffs have started, I have not bet a single time because I do not want to jinx these cats. I do not want to do it. I'm staying off of Montana Sportsbet to the cats' benefit and also to my wife's benefit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just a quick snapshot is I just don't think South Dakota understands Montana State's offense. Nobody understands Montana State's offense.
Yeah.
It's so diverse, so many playmakers. I don't think that I understand that they have talented players on their defense and they're good against the run, but I just don't think they understand how diverse this offense is.
No. Nobody has been able to solve the Bobcat puzzle yet. And I really don't think that South Dakota is the team that's going to be able to put the puzzle together. There's too many options. There's too many weapons. They have a great defense. They have great individual players, but I do not think that they have the cohesiveness you will need and the discipline you'll need to be able to shut down the Bobcats for 4 quarters.
Yeah. I think this game is going to be like every single game the Cats have played against quality opponents.
Mm-hmm.
They just wear them down.
Yeah.
There's too much talent on the offensive line for the Cats, and they have too many different kinds of running backs.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Scottrey Humphrey will be back.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. He can go, between the tackles, up the middle, whatever, bang out those hard yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Adam Jones, who can take it to the side from sideline to sideline with breakaway speed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if one of them gets tired, the other one comes in. Colson Kuhn sitting there fresh.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a really great playoff so far.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing USD can contain this. And, I haven't watched a ton of USD, but I do know they have a potential NFL caliber defensive end that's going to be lining up across from Connor Moore.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a very entertaining battle there.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from him, their pass rush isn't fantastic.
Yeah.
So I feel like Tommy will have time back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've got 5 offensive linemen that are so far above average and to great that I think even if they can plug up the running lanes, I don't see them having time to get to the quarterback.
I don't. I think you're absolutely correct. I'm trying to think of some devil's avocado argument for this situation, and I'm having a really hard time because a lot of the major teams that a lot of the major plays I've seen from South Dakota have been in their secondary, and Tommy has not made mistakes in the secondary. I mean, 2 picks all season. No really bad picks the entire time. Usually the other team has to make a play on the ball for him to get to it. So I don't see them being able to capitalize on turnovers. And I feel like the majority of their success has been based on creating turnovers.
Yeah, it's definitely helped them. I think we can all agree that Montana State's offensive line is better than North Dakota State's. I think that's pretty obvious at this point.
Oh yeah.
And even I feel like their plan is going to be don't let them run.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw UT Martin do that.
Yep.
They said, we're not going to let you run on us.
Mm-hmm.
The Cats still found success running the ball, but Tommy torched him through the air.
Mm-hmm.
Last week against Idaho, they had some success stopping the run. I mean, not kind of, not really, but you saw Tommy Malott take over with his legs
mm-hmm.
instead of the running backs, having to carry the load. And they were injured, so there was that. But,
mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see how USD schemes Montana State here. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't see how they can stop everything, because you have to worry about Ty McCullough, Alexander Jr., Rohan. Hopefully he's back. Sounds like he's going to be back. All the tight ends. Taco Dowler.
Mm-hmm.
You have Scotch-Ray, Adam Jones, Colson Kuhn in the backfield. I mean, how do you? I don't know how you come up with a game plan for that. And if Tyler Walker has shown an amazing ability to adapt on the fly to what the defenses are giving him.
Yeah.
I have a hard time believing that the Cats aren't going to go super balanced offense here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I'm guessing. I don't think we'll be up in the 500s in yards. I think that USD is a talented enough team to keep us out of the 500s. But I could legitimately see 175 on the ground, 175 through the air.
Yeah.
And if you give the Cats 175 on the ground and through the air, you're probably not going to win that game.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't think I see the matchup. I don't see the key matchup being between Montana State's offense and South Dakota's defense. I think the key is going to be, can South Dakota put points up on the board? I think they're going to have to be able to catch up, because the way the Cats have been playing, even if you shut them down for a couple of drives, it only takes a few minutes and all of a sudden they have 3 touchdowns on the board.
Yeah.
They make teams look silly. They make coaches make risky calls, and then they capitalize every time those coaches make those risky calls. So it's a situation where, as you've talked about, it's such a versatile offense that you have to do anything you can think of to try and stop it. And the only way that these coaches have been thinking of ways to stop it is by trying to limit the possessions. And you can't limit possessions because you can't get your ground game going because of the defensive line of the Bobcats. They force you to pass the ball because they get you into third and long situations a majority of the game. They have you on your heels the entire game. I don't want to oversell it, but it's just I don't see any other type of team. I haven't seen any other type of team the entire season.
Yeah. I totally agree. I think the only time we've ever seen the offense kind of get stale was UC Davis. Yeah. And I really believe that was the most valuable lesson they could have learned, because UC Davis is a better football team than South Dakota.
Yeah, when they are all healthy.
Yeah, their offense went in the toilet when Land Larison went down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's the most important part of that entire team, and he was not able to participate for 2.5 quarters of that game.
Are you as excited as I am about the Bobcats getting a chance to go up against a Missouri Valley team?
I am, because it's time we shut those guys up.
Yeah. This is Revenge Tour 2024, and the Missouri Valley is the last thing on the list.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, if you look at South Dakota's offense, Aiden Bauman is not the most versatile quarterback in the world.
No.
He is not a running quarterback.
Nope.
He is proficient enough passing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can get you deep, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Bobcats have any pass rush, it's going to be a long day for Aiden Bauman.
Yeah.
Now they have 2 running backs that are both over 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a pretty good offensive line, but they lost 2 offensive linemen in that game last week. One of them came back in at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably good, but there hasn't been any word on the other one.
Yep.
So there's a potential that they could be starting a backup O-lineman. We'll see. But I feel like when it comes to their running backs, that Tice is kind of the up the middle, bang them out yards.
Mm-hmm.
And is it Pierre, I think, is the kind of the speed guy.
Yep.
And to be worried about them seems a little ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
That neither one of those guys are even close to Land Larison.
No.
And we've already played them and won.
Mm-hmm.
So, in watching the UC Davis South Dakota game, they kind of just forgot about Tice.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way Coach Daly lets Tice run all over us or catch passes for 40 yards. Stupid things like that.
I think it's going to be very important to keep an eye on Tice, to be very aware of where he is on the field at all times, because he is a very talented player. But like you said, you're completely right. He was going out on wheel routes where he was completely by himself, and those type of opportunities are not going to be happening against the Bobcats. Yeah.
No, I really think that this game for USD is going to come down to, can they throw the ball on the Bobcats?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel super confident in our secondary. I think the key matchup to watch is how South Dakota's tight end will do against our linebackers.
Yeah.
Because he is supposed to be extremely good. He's finally healthy. He has missed the last couple games.
Mm-hmm.
He's finally good to go. And I feel like that's going to be the match to watch. If we can control him, I just don't see a way that South Dakota can get us.
Yeah. It's there's a lot of talented players on this team. It's just such a hard thing there's nothing to pick apart on Montana State. Offensively, defensively, special teams, there's absolutely nothing to pick apart. So I don't know where they find the gaps to have success in this game. I think, like I said before, you got to limit possessions and you got to try and get your running game going. I don't know how they're going to do that in ways that everyone else this season has tried and failed at. They may be able to find something because there's so much film at this point. But it takes a lot better football mind than me because I cannot find it in any of the tape. Like watching it critically or anything like that, I cannot see something that I would look at and be confident that I could actually shut down this team with.
Yeah. I mean, I really feel like South Dakota would have to have a special effort to beat Montana State. I mean, it'll have to be a perfect game.
Mm-hmm.
And I do feel like if they can figure that out, they will win the national championship. Though I feel like the winner of this game could be the favorite. I mean, it won't be that way.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that's the level of this game. I mean, North Dakota State, South Dakota State, those two teams are going to go in there and they're going to beat the absolute tar out of each other.
Yeah.
They're going to go to Frisco, one of them probably injured at somewhere. Somebody's going to be banged up. And whichever team wins Montana State USD is going to be on such a high.
Yeah.
And we know what the home field advantage for the Cats is.
Yeah.
I mean, you add it on top of how versatile the offense is and how electric the defense has been playing.
Yeah.
Then you add in an absolute money kicker for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Home field advantage.
Mm-hmm. Preach, Eric.
I don't know.
Preach.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like a majority, I'll speak for what I feel is the majority of FCS fandom out there. And I think they would try and call you out by saying that this game between Montana State and USD is the national championship. Because I feel like a majority of fans and stuff out there are saying the opposite, that the Dakota marker ×2 is the national championship. I don't agree with that. You don't agree with that. I don't think any self-respecting Bobcat would agree with that. But at the same time, it's tough. Yeah.
I'll counter that with USD has already beat North Dakota State. They came close with South Dakota State.
Mm-hmm.
Montana State beats them. The transitive properties of football means that Montana State is obviously better than North Dakota State.
Yeah, the flawless transitory properties of football, that have never let us wrong.
And if Montana State beats USD handily, then that means, depending on the point differences, that means if Montana State scores more points or wins by more points than USD South Dakota State, then they're better than South Dakota State.
If they win by more than one, they're better than North Dakota State. That's how it would work out in this situation. Yeah.
So, now, that being said, how do you like the spread? -10.5.
I don't love -10.5. I don't. It's wild to me that this is the time when Vegas decided to actually realize what the Bobcats are. It's like all of a sudden now we have the biggest spread in the situation when you have a basic pick'em on the other side, and then they're calling this more than a score, basically. At 10, you can't, like a score and a field goal type of game. Obviously, which I'm not betting, but if I was, I would be taking those points because I just don't see any other way for this game to go. I'm trying to come up with something, and I'm having a really hard time coming up with anything against the Bobcats right now because they're leaving my hands tied.
Yeah. Man, I love the -10.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna sleep like a baby afterward.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a nice little cat nap right after I place the bet.
Yeah, a little bobcat nap.
Little bobcat nap. We got to make sure we're well rested for this game. That's very important for us.
Yes. We're gonna be screaming our heads off.
Mm-hmm.
That is for sure.
It's gonna be a very exciting weekend. I just wanted to be here. I want to go to work tomorrow, get that all done with, and be ready for some Bobcat football this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to experience what Bobcat Stadium is like. I know it's going to be nuts. Mm-hmm. Every person in there is going to be screaming their heads off for the entire game. It's going to be loud. They're going to make South Dakota feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple false starts. We've seen it in every home game.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, what do you have a final score prediction?
Final score prediction for this game. Looking at all the talent on both sides and taking into account that we are playing at home, I want to call this game 34-21.
I like it. Because I was going to say 35-21.
Okay, there you go. I mean, Aiden Bauman's going to have a huge game.
Yeah. Yeah.
For them to do anything.
I mean, I think saying South Dakota isn't going to score much is kind of ridiculous because good teams score points.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it. I fully believe South Dakota will figure out a way to string a couple drives together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I could fully see a 21-14 score going into halftime.
Yeah.
And coming out of halftime, you know, I see the Bobcats scoring a couple times and just holding.
Yeah.
You know, defense just holds.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I believe that is because it's what I've seen every single week.
Yeah.
They've given us absolutely no reason to doubt them. Every single player has the ball, you know, basically, you know, just kind of all they've done is make you trust them.
Yeah.
To get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
Yeah. It is a super exciting week, super exciting weekend. We're focused on 1-0. We are not overlooking what is happening this weekend. We are very excited for just this game and nothing in the future. You know.
I mean, I may have booked my tickets to Frisco already, but
we're not talking about that. Stop. They can't know about it, you know. 1-0.
1-0.
1-0. But I don't know how you could make it to Frisco without booking it in advance. So.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know. We've got 8 Bulls to picture in the morning, and then I'm out.
There you go. That is nice. I got to get that kind of schedule. You know.
Yeah, it's ranching's a great schedule, Ben. It's super.
Yeah, I'm sure it's been a great week for you. You know. It sounds like it from our text conversations that you've had.
Yeah. Just
a spectacular week in general. So, you know, I think I'll take a couple broken computers over that schedule.
A Bobcat win fixes all.
Oh, Bobcat win fixes everything. Heals all wounds, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I'm so sick of sitting here looking forward to it.
Yeah. I want to be at the tailgates. I want to be in the stands. I want to hear wherever I may roam kick off. As soon as I hear that first ting, I know it's about time, you know.
Yeah. I think we'll have all the horses back. Won't just be 4.
Yeah, people haven't talked about how the horses were injured too. We need to get some depth as far as the horses go.
Yeah, we need some standby horses.
Yeah. We need to pick up some horse depth in the off season because we can't just have 4 horses out there. You know.
Maybe next year we'll halter break one of the bulls.
Yep.
Put Ben on the back of the bull carrying a flag and have one of those horses tow the bull around.
Oh my goodness. If we could actually get Montana State to agree to that, I would be so excited.
I would like to see you try to stay on the back of a bull running around the stadium.
Yeah. That would probably be the funniest thing in Montana State history is everybody watching me fall off a bull at the 50-yard line. Because you know I'm falling like right on the logo. Dropping down right there.
He falls on the logo and then the team tramples him and Ben's just like, yeah, bring it on.
And that would be my peak. That would be my moment. You know,
Yeah.
if I was getting ran over by our team, I would be so excited.
Yeah. He's like, all is well, brother. All is well.
Yeah. No, here's what would happen, because the Bobcat players would not do me dirty like that. Here's what happened. Okay, I fall off 50-yard line, okay? I'm out. I'm guessing the wind gets knocked out of me or something. I'm having a hard time getting up. Okay, I can't just pop right back up. What
Weak
happens
ankle.
is the Bobcat team picks me up, and we have a Rudy situation, you know, except I wouldn't be offsides.
The filmmaker in you is really coming out right now.
Yeah, I am the main character in every story.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Boy, that was quite the tangent, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. It was pretty good. What else to say about this game? Who else to get excited to watch?
I don't know, man. I'm sure we're missing a ton, but I just can't get out of my own way with being excited for it.
Mm-hmm. Do you think you see any picks out of the Cat secondary on this game?
Boy, if Polidor is able to play, which I never really heard anything that he was actually hurt.
Yeah.
But if he's able to play that, I think that kid's due. I think he's due.
Definitely.
I could also see McCade O'Reilly really coming in clutch here. He's really delivered in super clutch moments.
Yep.
I.e. UC Davis. I could maybe see him making a pretty special play, but I think if I had to pick one specifically, it'd probably be Polidor.
Yeah. I could see big stuff out of Polidor. Also, shout out to Drew Polidor, who's now a podcat. He did follow us this week.
Go.
So thank you, Drew.
Go.
We appreciate it. Hopefully we can talk to you at some point. You know, that'd be great. Seems like a fun dude.
Yeah, he does.
The other Drew on the team, Andrew Powdrell. I could see some big things out of him, the young dude out of the secondary.
Yeah.
He's been playing solid football all year. I think he had a couple missteps last game, but I could see him making up for those this week for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that ruling out any player in the Bobcats secondary is foolish, but I don't know, man. There's just something about Polidor that's like, it just feels like he's due.
He's got a spicy game, you know? He's a spicy boy.
Yeah. Yeah. I see big things coming from, I mean, if he plays, I think those safeties, I think they're going to play a pretty big part in this game between Ort and Polidor.
Yeah.
But
I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for big plays within this game.
Yeah.
Which...
I would also hammer a Kenny Iden sack if that was a prop bet.
Oh, they won't make that a prop bet because it's too certain to happen.
Yeah.
They don't want to make something with a line of minus 8,000, you know.
I need a Kenny Iden celebration on that field.
Mm-hmm. It is always fun. Get so excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Kenny, that's where I go. Kenny Iden sack, Drew Polidor pick.
Mm-hmm.
Lock.
Have you looked at any of the player props this week?
I haven't, dude. I am so annoyed with Montana Sportsbet. Half the time it doesn't even work on my phone anymore.
Yeah. It is. They updated the app and somehow made it worse.
Yeah, it's not good. And I also got a new phone, and it's difficult.
Oh, yeah. It's difficult since you had to give up the potato.
Yeah, this phone, I don't know. I know everyone else been doing this for like the last 3 years, but I just started.
So for anybody who doesn't personally know Eric, he is upgraded from an iPhone 2 to like an iPhone 12. You know, he's done a full 10-year update.
It's the 15.
Oh, okay. So you went from an iPhone 5 to an iPhone 15. You went a decade on one phone, which is to tell you that he is a man that does not give up, and he is very committed all the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm.
I'm on it. I am not seeing. I see a Brody Grebe sack, McCade O'Reilly 5+ tackles, Rylan Ort 5+ solo tackles, Rylan Ort 1 pick, McCade O'Reilly 1 pick, Taco to return a touchdown. We'll be placing that.
Yep.
And Mikado Riley, 5+ total tackles and 1+ pick.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the exact same as we're used to on those.
Yeah, there's a lot more progressive stuff I'm seeing on the website, at least.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Outside of that, there's nothing super juicy.
I kind of like this Tommy Malott 15+ pass completions for plus 105.
That's not too bad. But he doesn't. I don't know. There's a lot of games where he gets between like 10 and 12 completions. Because they don't throw the ball a ton in some games. But
I also like this Taco Dowler 40+ receiving yards at plus 125.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that is actually a pretty good one. I'm not hating it.
The one I'm seeing that's popping out to me right now is Rohan Jones, anytime touchdown scorer, minus 111.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I think that's a lock. If Rohan has been on the bench for 1 week, he wants to get back into the end zone again.
Oh, here we go. Both teams to score 1+ field goal in each half.
Oh, so then you need 4 field goals. It's kind of an awkward one.
Only 1 in each half, though, from each team. That's plus 1,200.
Mm-hmm.
That's not terrible. For odds-wise?
I would have to look at how many times field goals are actually kicked in these games. Because you need both teams to make one. I don't know if they both take 2 in a game. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Not sure about that one. They haven't sold me on that one, but.
Tommy Malott 1+ passing touchdown is minus 2,000 if you want to get frisky.
Might have to. Do they have the ever-present 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns for Tommy that has lost me more money than anything in the world?
Yes, they do at plus 750.
Yeah, there we go. I got to put some money on it. Every time they have it, I got to put some money on it.
I need to go through this a little closer. I do think that there's actually some sneaky bets in here.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. I don't hate them. I guess
Yeah.
I need to look at the anytime touchdown scorers.
Yeah. For anybody who really knows at this point, though, if you want to get the picks, if you're really here looking for the picks, got to follow us on X.
Yeah.
You get the picks.
If you want the juice,
I'll hand it to
you. I have been pretty good. Unfortunately, with how late we left to the game, I did not get to place any last week, but the ones I would have placed both hit.
Yeah.
Both of them.
I am 100% on bets that I was going to put down and never did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good time, man.
So I think we need to get me on a bull riding in to Bobcat Stadium, and B, make you an honorary member of the Juice Squad somehow.
I love both of those so much.
Both great ideas. I only have great ideas. That's the thing that sucks about being me.
Yeah, I love both of those. I have absolutely no idea how to make either one of those happen.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe if we just manifest really hard.
Yeah. I just want to see one goal line carry from Eric Lauver.
Oh, no, I don't.
One goal line carry, okay? You don't believe you don't believe in Connor Moore? You don't believe in Marcus Weir?
Dude, I spend like half my life running from stupid black cows.
Yeah.
I don't want to run from football players too.
You don't have to run from them. You're running right at them. Goal line.
Yeah.
They hand you the ball.
Big Ben.
All you got to do is get 1 yard. They hand you that ball. You got to get 1 yard. That's it.
I'm not Mr. 6'4", 6'5", whatever you are, Ben Christians.
That's you don't want a running back to be 6'5". I would have to be a tight end trying to catch a pass in the end zone or something like that. Okay? You are built and you have the size. Actually, you're probably a little too tall to be a running back as well. But, you got you're stockier,
Yeah. Got a nice center of gravity
You're
on
steady. You're steady. You can get low. You can get under that line, and you can get in the end zone. I believe in you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I took one hit, like Scottrade hit, I'm pretty sure I'd just be done. I wouldn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, but hopefully you're in the end zone. You don't have to play anymore. You just got to get that one touchdown.
Yeah, that's why I'm a fan and never was a player.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be like that sometimes,
Yeah. Oh gosh. Boy, this has escalated, hasn't it?
It did get away from us real quick there. Anything else you want to say about this game before we let everybody go?
Let's get serious for a second.
Okay.
We got to pack that stadium. That's the only thing I have to say at this point is we have to make it as hard for South Dakota to come to town as we possibly can. The weather isn't going to do it for us.
Yep.
We have to be loud. We have to make it very uncomfortable for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's what I got.
You got to bring the noise this weekend. That's about it. Show up, bring the noise. Show a Dakota team what a full house looks like. Because we're pretty sure they don't know what that looks like.
Exactly. Yeah, they're used to playing in a tiny little dome that holds like 7,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that we triple that.
Oh, yeah. I think it's going to happen.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. And what I really hope is that, 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they're blasting Moni Moni on those speakers.
Mm-hmm. So you can see a bunch of people be heard online again.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, a bunch of sour Grizz fans. Oh, boo-hoo, wah.
Oh, but they're killing the transfer portal right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing it.
They did that last year, and it worked out so well for them.
Well, they're going to pick up a bunch of players, and then they're going to start somebody that's not as good ahead of them.
Yeah.
They pick up a lot of great talent for their bench.
Yeah. Pick up a lot of great talent. Just so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All righty, everybody. Oh, sorry.
That's what I got.
That's what you got. Okay.
That's what I got.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Go ahead and rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to this at. Follow us on X or Instagram at CatsPod. Check us out on YouTube at The CatsPod. Have a great rest of your week. We only got one full day left to get through before it's time for another beautiful Catterday. See you guys.
Adios.